That is Roland Duarte, and he will be throwing the flag as the field starts to pair up once again on the inside. On the pole, Sebastien Bourdais will be starting the car that teammate Sarrazin qualified on pole, the Peugeot 908 HDI. That is a turbo diesel. They're working their way through the first, now into the second of the two Ford chicanes. The pace car has pulled in. The 75th running of the Michelin 24 Hours of Le Mans is green. We are underway. And it was from the outside that the Peugeot was able to take the swing, leading now into the Dunlop curves, watching some of the cars a little bit further back in the pack. There, the number 14, Dome, racing for Bourdais is off, and underneath goes, that is Capello, picks up the lead. Bourdais, a mistake in the first turn.
But a great,
very tricky conditions here. The drivers are concerned. We saw Bourdais on his pace laps really got the hammer down, trying to get a feel for the race circuit, Dorsey. But all of the drivers just getting a feel around the circuit in this initial lap.
That was a great save. I mean, it was a mistake, no question, but he didn't throw it in the gravel trap. And we don't know about this circuit. It's not raining right here, but 8 miles around, you never know what you're going to find. Take a replay look at what's happened. Too much speed carries it. Now, that's a safe barrier area. That right there, that green, it looks like grass, is actually AstroTurf with asphalt underneath right on board here. See what it looks like.
This is Capello's car, the Audi.
And you saw one of the cones knocked out of the way already, one of those green cones. They said they wouldn't be here for an hour. One is not.
Dr. Ulrich from Audi said this is a race where you expect the unexpected. How about that? The first corner, the leader goes off.
I was going to say it's a 24-hour race, but the prestige of leading lap one here at Le Mans, just a little bit too much to bear sometimes, and it caught Bourdais out. Again, a great save, and the field now whistling down the Mulsanne out of the first chicane, heading toward the second. In theory, exact mirrors of each other, but in reality, two very different types of corners.
Absolutely, but here we see the second of the Peugeots. This is the 007, right behind Capello. You can identify it by the red mirrors. Bourdais, who currently runs 4th or 5th, has blue mirrors on that Peugeot, so just a quick way of identifying the two cars. There he is. Bourdais comes out of the slipstream.
Take a look at the difference in the two cars. So the Audi, of course, open cockpit. We've seen it. We know how strong it is. But look at that tiny little Peugeot. It's like a Formula One car with a body on it.
As they head into the famous Mulsanne hairpin. Andrew.
Yes, I'm down in the Peugeot pit. They are not making any preparations for a pit stop from Bourdais. They feel that the car is okay. Obviously, we saw him go across the gravel, but they intend to continue. Nobody is on alert here at the moment. And the boss of Peugeot said in the press conference on Thursday, manage your expectations. This car only ran for the first time on December the 31st. It's been an incredible run up to this race here at Le Mans.
One of the concerns for the drivers, though, Dorsey, are these gravel traps. If any gravel comes onto the race circuit, they're like little glass slivers. They'll slice a tire in a heartbeat. So Bourdais has to be concerned. They have telemetry in the pit lane what will determine if there's any pressure loss in one of those 4 Michelins.
And that, of course, is crucial on an 8-mile lap. If you get a puncture, which is very similar, I mean, it's very likely to happen here, you get a puncture just past start-finish line, you have a long way to go to try to get any kind of remedy.
And a question to ask you guys, and I think I just saw this played out. One of the cars got up on a curb. It looked like smoke. I think it was...
And got the permission, as one of the teams did last year, to actually replace the chassis on that. We saw it in the warm-up this morning.
Well, I think we've discovered over the years that the rules at Le Mans are sort of like the pirate code in Pirates of the Caribbean, more of a guideline, and I think the Lambos claimed parlay and were given a bit of a break. Oh, look at this move. Ducked underneath was Bila and picked up the spot on Manassian, and boy, that was aggressive. Very late move, Calvin.
It really was. Frank Bila, the fans at home may not recognize him in the car because his helmet design has actually changed for the first time in about 20 years. Manuel Pirro, his teammate, was giving him some grief about that, as he said, you're on your verge of retirement, now you change your helmet color. But Bila is third there. That's the second car in shot, followed now by Manassian, and then the third of the Audis.
Well, I would have thought that the Peugeot would have sent a wrap.
Glitter of the cameras as they come by. Peugeots 1, 2 and 3, and the roar is about to happen as we start this, the 76th running of the Le Mans 24 Hours, live here across the planet on Eurosport. Away we go then. This is the big moment, and the roar by, the crowd are up, everyone's up, and Peugeot immediately just throwing it down. It's formation time for them, and away they go up toward the Dunlop curves. It's a long race to come, and already a challenge from Ella Windisch. She's having a look all over the back. McNish then moving up there. Great job there, Liz. Just got inside that Peugeot and couldn't do anything about it.
I think McNish came out here and he said, this is what this race is going to be about, boys. I'm not going to kick back and let you just crawl away from us. So he just thought, I'm going to stick it in there straight away and show him that Audi is here to win.
We are here to win. Say the four rings. Forget about anything else. They're going to challenge here. And when it comes to the balance between fuel and longevity on their runs, they could well have it. Just wait and see where the Peugeots come in. What sort of trim have they managed to put on these cars? It's race trim, they say, and already McNish has just been eaten up. He was proving a point in front of the crowds, and it was a point well made, Mark. He has tucked back inside, but he just, as you say, showed his nose to Marc Genet. Genet couldn't do anything about it at that point of the circuit, but it takes it back at the chicanes. So much more torque they have than the Audis down here now. That's one thing we're learning over this week. Well, what a day, what a start, what a race, and it's there's an awful long way to go, naturally enough, we know that, but Audis have just bedded back into position. That was such a gutsy move early on. I just lost myself.
Well, this is the thing about Alan McNish, you know, every time he gets on a track, he's out there to have a crack. It doesn't matter when it is, he's an amazing driver, so much skill and talent, and he wants to win this race. He's waited to win this race for years, 10 years now. So, you know, this is I think he feels this is his one. They were due it last year, had that horrible incident with the wheel coming off, and he's out to win this year, and I think he wants to show that to everybody, including the crowd here. He does that many times in the night. It's so much cooler, you've got no roof, so it really is an opportunity for them to make up time, and you know, I think it'd be crazy to bring him out if he's comfortable.
Well, that's what McNish did that to start off with, and Capello did the same as well in the second, there's a second driver in the car, so I'm sure we'll see Tom Christensen do that. He was...
Sorry to interrupt. Just noticed they're still showing Pedro Lamy is in the car. It's definitely Stefan Sarazan, and he's just set the fastest lap of the race.
Done it, just like we said he was going to do.
Yeah, well, it's a good job we didn't have a bet on that one, guys. I think we would have run money for each other.
Pits off the lead. He's pitting off the lead. 108 laps completed. Garcia is the nearest man to him, and it's a bit of a race for time, and that is a worry for us. Chris Parsons, you spotted that.
That is the lead Peugeot.
Time. That is
in the kitty litter.
It is,
and it's not going anywhere. That is clean, the lead car.
Clean has gone in, and it's not clean at all for him. And Christensen is going to sniff this. Christensen himself just posted a 4:30. We're wondering whether he's slowing and coming in, if he's got any problems. But that's the lead Peugeot, and it is bin for the time being. And Clean is the man on board. Jenny then overtakes him on the table. As far as the timings are concerned, the number 7 car is up there, and he is distraught. Look at this. Come on, help me out, he says. I need to get this back out there. Can't go backwards or forwards. The marshals are in straight away. Snap, they come in. You can see he's actually taken one of the markers out here.
Yeah,
and I'm wondering whether this was a personal effort by himself, whether we got tapped. We will get a replay. But chaps, it's exactly what we were saying. The moisture on the track out there is going to catch you out if you're in trouble.
It's been quiet, and suddenly it all hits us. We've got all sorts of things going on, and we don't know where that is, but he's facing the wrong way. We can see cars coming past, and will the marshals drag him to a safe place where he can...
That's the important thing, isn't it? I mean, this is where the regulations man comes in. I understand, and I may stand corrected, that if you touch it, if anybody else touches it,
having all sorts of problems there, then in comes the number 8 car. This is Alex Wirtz we're just talking about, only his second ever Le Mans, and he won his first one for TWR US Porsche.
Yeah, there's some very good hard thought gone into choosing the drivers in this Peugeot team. There is a lot of experience, even though there's quite a lot of youth there, and one wonders whether or not, looking at some of the older statesmen of the Audi team, I thought this would pay off perhaps a little bit better than it has. I also thought the race pace of the Audis would be closer to that of the Peugeots. I think we all did.
Well, I think normally that's because Peugeot have niggling problems and Audi tend to run without them, and that's how they close up. Pedro Lamy just being strapped into that car. That car will go out again, still in 6th place, because as we saw, Lucas Learn having made that stop just before he came in. So Peugeot still holding that place, but they have this habit of coming back, from all sorts of problems, don't they, Audi? And Peugeot haven't learned that yet, but tonight they've actually proved they can do it. They were down in 15th, 16th place, and that car that had the problems, the number 9 car, has come back to 3rd now.
Yeah, somebody else made a little point earlier on, which I thought was quite good. Last year when the Peugeots were here, they were collecting rubbish, and it was taking an awful long time to clean it out. They've got rid of that problem. That's something that has stolen them back, say 8-10 seconds on a pit stop, and that's a lot.
I think also, Neville, what we've got to remember is Tom Walkinshaw, soothsayer of Group C, always said it takes you 3 years to win Le Mans, and this is Peugeot's second year here.
Yes, I mean, Tom did run a pretty top team when he was with Jaguars and what have you, and I think you could honestly say that he's sorely missed, if only for his odd sense of humour, like, what do you want?
There is a warm, soft heart beating under that hard exterior. And Tom, if you're out there listening, we miss you. Do come back sometime. And if Jaguar are going to come back into international motorsport, into Le Mans at that sort of level, hopefully for Apex, why don't you go and see Apex and say, let me do the job for you? I mean, that would be great, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be absolutely fantastic. I mean, he can still, he's cutting it over in Australia with the holders or whatever. And he's always been very good at something like this.
He's got pretty full programs everywhere. So we've got a problem here, Neville. That car is not starting. They cannot fire up. Pedro Lamy is trying to. Maybe it's even stuck in gear.
It's stuck in gear. That's why they're rocking it. They're trying to get into some.
This is the car that has already had problems, and they're pushing it into the garage. This has already had gear selector problems earlier this evening. It was a hydraulics problem. It's come back to haunt them. The Achilles heel of Peugeot struck again. Here we are, 9 minutes past 1 o'clock in the morning in this 76th Le Mans. 24 hours. Mathematics that.
Well, I suppose I did it, didn't I, as the commentator?
Just as you arrived. Yeah. We're just saying, they're all going wonderfully. And look at
the situation to judge braking points. Judging traffic as well. Let's think about this for a moment. When you're coming up behind a car which is a ball of spray coming out the back of it, you know that he can't see you any more than you can see him very well. So it's a real challenge for lapping people.
Well, that didn't go down too well, could it? Did it? Because that was Marc Genet trying to find his way past someone, I'm not quite sure who.
It did look like the back of an Audi.
It did look like the back of an Audi to me as well, but I didn't want to say that because I looked up and I thought, no, he's not that close, but perhaps he is. I don't know. That thing runs a little bit behind sometimes.
Well, that's the visibility that Marc Genet has at the moment. That is an Audi. Which Audi is it, though? I think that was the 2 car, but I couldn't really see the number properly. Let's have a look and see. Well, showing that it was 16 seconds behind. It was quite feasible that 16 seconds could have been eaten away as a result of a mistake from McNish or traffic or anything like that. And as they charge through the spray, I think that may be the 3 car actually, because I just saw a bit of black on the top of the car, which would indicate it was the Rockefeller car, in which case it must well have been Genet putting a lap on Rockefeller, unless there's been some stops that we missed in the grey and the drizzle. But we'll wait to see a better angle of those cars in just a moment. And let's see what we're seeing from here. Big shunt! That's Joey Foster.
The rain has helped to level things, and any performance advantage that the Peugeots might have had seems to have been just dampened quite literally.
Well, this is what we've been saying all along, isn't it? That rain is the best leveling factor for any race in any kind of series. Really, is that suddenly cars that were monstrously ahead have suddenly slowed down. Oh, here we go. We've got a real race going on here.
It was good to hear Stefan Ortelli there, wasn't it? He had a huge, massive shunt at Monza, and he's not been pronounced fit to drive here at Le Mans, which is a major disappointment for him, of course. He's been coming here for an awful long time. He definitely wanted to drive one of those Orica Courage cars, but he will be back, I think, for the next Le Mans Series race.
Of course, bad luck for Stefan with Le Mans for a couple of years now, because he had a big accident, I think it was last year, where he suffered a head injury and was not allowed to drive at Le Mans again. So, this is a shame.
Another one, and they won't be able to. I'm just wondering if there's a local yellow been thrown here, which just posted a 3:57. That's in appalling weather as well, with the rain coming down a little bit heavy. You can see the marshals with all their wet weather gear wearing their sou'westers. It is a southwesterly breeze we've got here, and look at this, a breeze. We've got a storm raging on track right now, and this is for Minassian to unlap himself and get back on the lead lap. Capello is not going to see position easily. This is tremendous.
I don't think he's going to give him any help, so This is going to be an exciting race to watch here.
It is. They're both lapping under 4 minutes now. And he looks to the inside, but no, Dindo Capella has that line well and truly covered. There's Jacques Villeneuve watching on from the pit lane. He'll be taking over behind the wheel of car number 7 fairly shortly. That is the car that we're watching right here, challenging Dindo Capella. Look at Dindo Capella there, moving across towards the pit wall just to get a bit more, it's damper over there. They're still running wet weather tyres, and you want to make sure you don't overheat those tyres. So if you run in the wet portion out alongside the pit wall, you can get a bit more temperature, keep the tyres temperature under control till when you get up there to the Dunlop curve, you're in good shape.
I mean, this is incredible. What we're watching is dicey racing, almost 20 hours into this race, and also in these conditions. I mean, this is just, you don't see this very often, and these guys are really pushing hard, and we're so far into this race. I mean, this is incredible.
And just watch the lines that Dindo's taking through the corners, taking a wide line around the missing the apex, the traditional apex, quite comfortably there, but he's just looking after his tyres. He wants to keep that car in the best shape it can be.
Well, he knows that if he does find a drier section of track, and there are some out there, traditional passing points are where you find it, where cars have been side by side and kind of cleaned up, and here we are drafting now. Now this is a big moment. Wouldn't have been a problem any other time during the race, but with the wet, they've got to keep it sensible here. But he's gone down to the brakes. He's unlapped himself. Tremendous job.
Yeah, just smokes right past him on the straight. That's the power of the Peugeot there, telling on the straight. That's been the thing all the way through. They've been a little bit quicker everywhere, in effect during this month of June. But that was just sheer horsepower that took that Peugeot past the Audi. He got a good run through Tertre Rouge, did Nicolas Minassian, and he's able to take full advantage of that. Get this.